What's up, kiddos? Road trip. I gotta go to Nana and Tata's house, which is your Nana Michelle's mom and dad's house. So, thought I'd tell you about another page of my book. One of the questions in the book, the next question in the book is, what was the neighborhood like that I grew up in as a kid? And well, we'll tell you that I had plans for this video to take you to my old neighborhood and to show you around, you know, show you the house I grew up in and the street I lived on and what have you. And I really did. I had it all planned out because I really loved where I came from, the neighborhood I grew up in. I really loved it. You know, it shaped my whole childhood. It kind of made me who I am today. You know, because there was a variety of people in my neighborhood. There was a variety of cultures. There was a variety of everything in my neighborhood. There was nice people. There was mean people. There was people of every race and creed and color. And to be honest with you, when I was a kid growing up on my street, I didn't know what racism was. I really didn't. Because we had every race on our street. You know, we had everything. We had the Mexicans, the blacks, the Chinese, the Indians, the Italians. We had the whatever. We had it all, but we didn't care. We didn't care. So we weren't taught hate, or we weren't taught racism, or we weren't taught races. So, and like this one guy I heard say on the radio, you know, the only races we hated were the ones we lost. You know, if we did a foot race and we lost, that's it. Bike race we lost, that's it. It was nice. Everybody kept up their yards, you know, everybody kept up their houses, kept them clean. As I grew up there, everybody on that street was original owners, which means, you know, they got the house built for them. They purchased it and still live there. And my mom and dad, they bought the house together, but then when they divorced, my mom stayed there, so she was an original owner. But we used to wander off to the other streets behind us, or north of us, I should say. We always say behind us because in front of us was the main street. So behind us was all the other blocks. So we would ride our bikes or ride our skateboards, ride our whatever we were into at the time to the other streets and see the other kids, you know, see what they were doing. That's where you kind of found out where there was your bad areas, because in the beginning, you know, when I was really young, my mom wouldn't let me leave the street. You know, I tried to follow my brother to his friend's house, and you know, his friend lived a few blocks away, and she would tell, no, you can't leave the street. So, you know, she wouldn't do that to my brother, you know, put me on him to take care of me. She'd just be like, look, you got to stay here with your friends, and your brother's go with his friends. So it sucked because I wanted to go with my brother, you know, because I know him and his friends were doing the cool shit. I wanted to do the cool shit too, but I was still too little. So I had to stay on my street. Well, you don't know how to take turns, you fuckhead? You don't know how to drive. Sorry. So my mom didn't let me leave the street until I was a little older. Then I was able to, you know, go to the other blocks or what have you. But I still snuck around a little bit. And, you know, we had a big canal behind our house, and we were definitely not allowed there. But I still went anyways. Rode my bike in the canal, and all my friends would. So the rest of the neighborhood, though, was nice. It was clean. I went to the school in the neighborhood. There was a few bad blocks, like 2 or 3 streets, maybe two streets behind me. That neighborhood, I'm not gonna say it was bad, as in, you know, it was just gangsters, gang members lived there, cholos, whatever. They lived on that street. They kind of took over that street, and nobody on that street, and I mean nobody, took care of their yards. So every single yard in the front was dirt and cars parked on it, cars parked on the dirt. Junk in the front yards. It was a dirty street. It was, I didn't like it. So my mom wouldn't let me go that way. So I'd stay away from it anyways, because you could just feel it. It was dirty in that street. So I'd stay away. Would I go back to where I grew up? No, I wouldn't. I used to say I would. As a matter of fact, before we bought the house now, me and Nana would say, you know, we actually looked for a house in that neighborhood, because Nana liked the neighborhood too, because she grew up in that area as well. But after a few years, we're like, yeah, no, it's ugly. We don't like it anymore. It changed. It changed. It's no longer the same neighborhood I grew up in. You know, it's got a different feel. There's a few restaurants in the area that are still there, that were there when I was a kid, that we went to as a kid, that I take you guys to, which is Little Dragon. Little Dragon is one I went to as a kid, so right there in my neighborhood, and we still go to it till this day. So yeah, the neighborhood I grew up in was quiet. It was nice. It had some of its moments. It had some gangsters in there. You know, it had your drug dealers. It had a little bit of everything. It was a really diverse neighborhood. It's a little bit of everything, which made it really fun, and you know, it just made it fun, because you can start it from one end of the street, all the different cultures that were cooking dinner at the same time. Because that's another thing, is back in the day, everybody pretty much cooked dinner at the same time, and all the kids went in at the same time to eat dinner at the same time. And those were fun times, you know. Those were good times, because you knew everybody's scarfing down their food. I'm gonna hurry up and go back outside and play before the lights come out, the street lights, and then I had to come back inside. So those were the good days. Some of us would scarf down our foods faster than others. So let's say I was sitting down eating, all of a sudden there's a knock on my door. You know, I'm trying to look at the door, and there's my mom giving me the look, you know, hey, worry about your food. You don't worry about who's at the door, you know. So they'd go check the door, and it'd be one of my friends. Is Anthony here? You know, can he come out yet? No, he's still eating. Okay, tell him I'll be waiting. Okay. So she'd tell him he's at the door. So I'd hurry up and scarf down my food, and can I go outside and play? Put your dishes away. Did you do this? Did you do that? It was like 10 to 100 questions, almost like third degree, before I can go outside and play again. It's like, yes. Okay, make sure you do this. Okay. And stay out of trouble. Behave. And don't you be going here. Don't you be going. The whole spill all over again. It's like, oh my God. Shit, something happened. It's a barbecue, guys. Check this out. That's how hot it is here, guys. It's hot as hell. The car's catching fire. That was how my neighborhood was. We, after dinner, we'd go and collect all our friends and go and play or do whatever we were gonna do. Ride our bikes, play tag, play football, baseball, catch, smear the queer. It is what it is. Smear the queer. We'd play whatever it was. We would play G.I. Joes, cars. We'd play, of course, Cowboys and Indians. We played cops and robbers. We would get on our bikes and we would ride, and we had these sticks, like broomsticks, where we would find broken branches and we would try to shove them in the tires to make each other flip, and just boys being boys. But that's how my neighborhood was growing up. Just a lot of boys running the neighborhood. After dinner, we'd go out and play and get into whatever we got into. Had fun, just living the life, and then we would light the street lights, come on, and go in and get ready for the next day. And that was it. And I went in there and I hurried up and I would shower and do what I had to do to get to bed. And I'd go to my room and then play again, play some more. That's when I would play my little games on my Nintendo or whatever. That's when right before I went to bed. Well, I wasn't into video games. It kind of bored me, so I'd start playing them so I would get bored, and then I went to bed. One other thing I liked about my neighborhood was everyone knew everyone. We all knew each other on our street. So you hear stories of your neighbors taking care of you, or it takes a village to raise a kid, or what have you, whatever, however the saying goes. But our neighbors did take care of all of us kids, you know. B-roll. It's like an old style hearse. I loved it. I loved that neighborhood, and like I said in the beginning, I wanted to go record it because I'm proud. I still am proud of where I came from, but it's just not the same neighborhood I grew up in. So to try to tell you the neighborhood I grew up in and show you what it looks like now, it's like a bad book and a bad movie going together, which is probably going to be this anyways, because you're going to read the book and be like, that's not what he said. And how come he didn't say this in the movie? So it is what it is. I wrote in the book what I can remember, and I only got a little bit of space. But here on the videos, I'm talking so you can hear me talk, so you can see what I'm doing. And another thing in my neighborhood that I loved was we knew our mailman's name. We knew our mailman. His name was Sharky. And it was cool. You know, it was cool knowing your mailman. Sorry, I'm trying to get around this semi, and I'm not going to be able to. Our mailman's name was Sharky, and he would come around and he knew the kids' names. He knew our name. You know, he'd come up, pat me on the head. Hey, Anthony, how you doing today? You know, I'm good, Sharky. How are you? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, he'd give me the mail, or you know, give this to your mama. Or if my mom was out there, the ice cream man was really cool. His name was Bob. It was like a little golf cart, and he made a box around it, like a covered golf cart, and he sold snow cones. That was his specialty, was snow cones, and with all the flavors. And we used to love that snow cone, man. His name was Bob. His little snow cone cart was orange and white, so it was cool. It was cool to have Bob around and Sharky around. And like I said, I'm proud of the neighborhood I grew up in. I wish I could have showed you on camera what it's like, what it was like when I was there, but unfortunately it's not the same. So it is what it is. But I got some more talking to do on this book and about me and growing up. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.